So I'm going to be dealing with two things today, and number one is love. In my generation, this is what has taken over the place. It's most used by many people, even people of my age. Every single one is trying to use the word love. You can't actually stay a day without actually hearing that word, love. But the problem is we've been misinterpreting it, and that is where we get it all wrong. Because the love that I see in this generation is actually business, and that is why we've been falling. That's why we've been falling, I would say, because we've misinterpreted this thing. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it gave us the full description of love. Love comes before everything, and this case of love is what makes God himself. In Romans 5 verse 8, God demonstrates his love to us in this, that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Now we're seeing it that to God, he was actually showing us love even when we had no chance of reciprocating that love to him. But in my generation, for you to actually love someone, that person has to do something. Yes, that is not love. You're seeing someone saying the person is trying to help someone in love, and the person has a reason for making that help. That is not love. Love comes as an instance that you are not expecting nothing. You expect nothing when you want to show love. And that is what we've missed even in my generation. The next thing I want to point out is faithfulness. I define faithfulness as the exactness of following a system without adding or subtracting from it, but rather consistent in following it. But in our generation, we've actually flopped. We've fallen out of this because almost every one of us ain't faithful. Now I'm going to show you how this lines up. In the book of Proverbs chapter 3 from verse 3 to 6, it actually describes how these things work. It also touches love. First, verse 3 was telling us about how we should take love and faithfulness and put it on as a pendant and write it on the tablet of our hearts. Now, these are two basic things that make a man. In verse 4, he went on to give us the reward for it. He says, then you would find favor with God, not only God, but also with men. But then he came to verse 5, which is very popular. We say, trust in the Lord with all your heart. But we missed something there. The faithfulness and love comes direct from our heart. For you to be faithful, it has to come from your heart. For you to love someone, it has to come from your heart. That's not where it ends, because yes, that can gain you favor, but it doesn't place your part right. Now it says, take all of that your heart and trust in the Lord with it. Place your loving in the Lord, your faithfulness in the Lord. But when you're doing that, that's when you're making the change. Then it went on to say what? In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. That is first, we've trusted him with our hearts that has love and faithfulness as we want to go with. And you move on to acknowledging him in all your ways, telling him that yes, even though it seemed to me that I know how to love, no, oh God, I don't really know how to love. Take this heart of mine and love with it. Take this heart of mine and be faithful with it. And that is when he's going to direct your path. He's going to show you how it's done. And most times doing what's right is not actually palatable, but when you take that step, you find out that your lives begin to change, and instead of falling short of some things, you're actually going to be growing. And God bless you even as you put this to action today, and even as we're becoming better children of God. Remain blessed. And always remember that Jesus loves you.